Hi and welcome to the Gunners Extra podcast. I'm here with Ryan and we're going to be talking about everything Arsenal this week. Ryan, how you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
I've been better. Another poor performance this week. Again, but yeah, we've got to talk about it, so let's crack on. So yeah, what do you reckon, what went wrong on the weekend?
I think I was happy when Ozil came back in because I thought, okay, well, the fans have been calling for him and he creates, I get that.
Yeah, he brought him back in, but didn't play him where I thought he should play him.
No, same with Torreira, really. I want him sitting in front of that back four. I don't think he's a number 10. He wants to push him further forwards.
I don't get what he's doing with that. Like, is he looking to press higher up? Because I don't think anyone else was doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I want Torreira sitting in front of the back four, snapping into challenges, winning the ball back, not trying to create, because that's not his game. He's not Ramsey. He's never will be.
But if he doesn't rate him as a defensive midfielder, then, you know, we've got some serious problems. We've got no DM.
I mean, that's where he was playing sort of like for his better performances last year. That is where he was playing. But I don't know. I don't know what it is with Emery. I don't know whether it's like a stubbornness or he doesn't know his best team. I really don't know.
From the looks of it, from like everything what happened in the game, he looks like he's under pressure with
Massively.
The way he's setting out the team.
Massively. I think there's certain parts of the dressing room that he's lost. I don't think he's handled the Xhaka situation that well.
Yeah, I mean, that is a bit of an odd one, but he dropped him for the game at the weekend, and rightly so.
Did he drop him, or is he trying to protect him? Because to me, you should be protecting a player that tells your fans to F off like that. I think he done the right thing taking him out, but I don't know. I just don't think he's the strongest manager. He's weak.
He is weak. I mean, the thing is, he's taken him out. I mean, and it's got to be hard to bring him back in. Are we only going to play him in away games so he doesn't get as much stick? I mean, what do you think he'd do with that?
I mean, me personally, I think I'd chuck him straight back into tomorrow night. Or Thursday night, sorry. The
formation we had against Wolves, I mean, the diamond, okay, it does work if you've got the players to do it. I don't understand, why, Torreira was the furthest forward, Ozil was playing on the right, we've got Ceballos on the left, and Guendouzi, probably our best player this season, the furthest back. I don't really get that.
No, I mean, obviously he's the manager, he makes these decisions. I mean, I know what I'd pick, but then I'm not in that position. I don't think you can play Ozil and Ceballos, to be honest.
I don't think so. I don't think there's enough legs in there for them.
I don't think he really knows where to play Ceballos, as much as he's a good footballer, but... I mean, me personally, I'd stick with Guendouzi and Torreira as the two deep line midfielders and then let Ozil go further forward, because you're not going to get work rate out of him, and let him do what he wants to do.
The thing that makes me laugh, I mean, everyone's been crying, we've got no creativity, let's play Ozil. He plays him and drops Pepe.
Yeah, I thought that was about. I mean, Pepe, mate, if he turned around and said, I rested him, I get that, but then if he starts him tomorrow night, Thursday against Victoria, I don't really understand that at all.
Wednesday, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
It's been moved.
Yeah.
But, I don't really get it. And I just feel when you play that diamond, your fullbacks, your right and your left back, they've got no protection. I mean, Kieran Tierney, he did really well, even though he was struggling against Traore.
I mean...
He's a handful.
Definitely. And obviously, sometimes pace is pace. You can't, legislate for that, but... I don't know. I just think Emery, like I said before, he doesn't know his best team and he sort of just wings it from game to game. And I honestly think that it could be time up for him. And I don't like to see managers get the sack mid-season, but I don't know. Nothing's improved.
I mean, I watched the game and they had 25 shots to our 10. And,
Yeah, I wouldn't believe that stat personally, because if a bloke has a shot from 40 yards, is that classed as a shot on goal?
I only remember Leno making one good save.
Yeah, beat away, yeah.
Yeah, but so, okay, we could take that.
But then how many did their keeper make?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we didn't create enough. No. And,
it all started well. You get the early goal, and I think with Arsenal, if you get an early goal against a team, it changed their whole mindset, and I think, right, go for the kill.
It was against the run of play, though. They started really strong in the first 15, 20 minutes. So it was against the run of play. And to be fair, I think on other occasions we would have lost that game. If we were away from home, we would have lost that.
Yeah, which is shocking, really. That's 2 home games in a week that we've sort of chucked away leads. And I don't know where to go with it. I'm sort of at my wit's end with Emery now, I think.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think the substitutions really helped him. He brought off Terrea, which...
Well, we were trying to defend a goal lead, and we take off our, in my opinion, our sort of like beefiest midfielder who's going to put tackles in. And then when we went to 1-1 and we were chasing a goal, we took off Tierney and put on another left back. Like
I don't understand that. Like with 5 minutes to go, I think there was. Like,
you're going to do that, chuck Pepe on and go for it.
Yeah,
I think.
I think he's scared of losing, and that's not good. He doesn't want to take a risk. It does feel like a loss
at home, a goal up, and especially the week before against Palace, 2 up, and then you don't win the game. It's a defeat.
That's not the first time that's happened. We had that at Watford this year. Villa were close to beating us this year. We have not played well at all this year.
No,
I can't think of a game.
Well, where are we in the league now? 5th, 6th?
5th or 6th, yeah.
The only reason we're there is because Man United are just as worse than us. Tottenham are having a terrible time. Like the league table's lying massively. Like that's what's saving Emery, I think, at the minute.
But look, Leicester, Chelsea, 6 points ahead, and we've got to play Leicester. We've got to go to Leicester this week.
I dread this game. I really do. I think that Brendan Rodgers has got them ticking. They're playing really good football. They're organised. I find it hard how we're going to get anything out of this game unless we're up for it. But who knows?
Yeah, nah. I mean, well, that takes us on to the next point. I mean, Brendan Rodgers, good manager. Would you have him at Arsenal? Because it looks like, the writing's on the wall for Emery.
If I could pick any manager now, realistic manager now, that's who I'd probably take.
You take Brendan Rodgers?
He plays in the right way. I mean, Arsenal have this identity of playing good football. I'll take him. His teams are organised. Look what he's done in Leicester in how long's he been there? Hardly at all.
Do you think he'd leave Leicester for Arsenal?
We're still a big draw. I mean, Leicester, as well as they're doing, it's not me trying to sort of be arrogant, but Arsenal, a massive club. He's not going to be at Leicester forever. It is a stepping stone. Well, not that he'll admit that, but...
I mean, they've got that player we were linked with, I think 18 months ago. Do you remember Sionku, the Turkish guy?
Yeah.
He's playing really well, and he sort of, we dilly-dallied and didn't sign him in the end.
But you can't tell me that Sionku... You look at Arsenal's players, and our players against Leicester's players on paper are better.
Player for player, we're better, but
it's the organisation thing, and that's what we lack. Like we haven't really got an identity anymore. I don't think Emery, he doesn't know how to set a team up, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean,
but for 3/4 of the season last season, we looked like we were improving. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know whether the players are not responding to him anymore, or has he lost the dressing room? Obviously, you'll never know that. Treatment of Ozil.
He plays lots of players, and Arsene Wenger did this as well. He plays lots of players out of position. Theo Walcott was played out of position. Oxlade-Chamberlain, even Aubameyang, like he's our main marksman this year.
Well, he's getting. The good thing with Aubameyang is he's that good in front of goal. You can play him wherever because if you give him one chance, the chances scan in.
I get that. I mean, you can start him on left midfield, and he will still come in and get you goals. But is he going to offer you the support defensively coming back?
No, probably not.
And are we at a stage where we say we've got to choose one of these guys and put one up front and basically sacrifice the other striker to make the rest of the team, structured? Well,
that's why Emery's getting paid what he's getting paid to sort that out. But how long? It's been 18 months he's been there now, and what's got better, really? Are Arsenal any better defensively under Emery than they were under Wenger?
Not at all. Not at all.
That's shocking, really.
Yeah, no.
Arsenal going forward, although we've lacked creativity recently, will always create chances and score goals. But defensively, if you're as bad as you are at the back, then it's not going to.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, here's a question for you: would you have Jose in? He's really good defensive manager. He would sort.
Yes, I would.
You would.
He's a winner. People say he failed at Man United. Did he fail? He won 2 trophies. How long was he there? 2 and a bit years or 2 years?
Yeah.
2 trophies, got him back in the Champions League.
He took him second. He said that was like his biggest accomplishment.
He finished behind like one of the best Premier League teams of all time, City. I would 100% take him.
I don't know. After all of we used to basically
all this rubbish. He disrespected Wenger. Yeah, he sticks up for what he is at the time. He was at Chelsea at the time. He's going to make it. I'm going to stick up for Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea man. If he come into Arsenal, all these fans who would say, "Oh, yeah, well, I'm not going to go to games and I'm against Jose." If he come in and won 6 out of his first 8 games, they'd be singing his name. Arsenal are that desperate to win at the minute, as us fans are. People would forget all that.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're not really, our attacking play is not as good as it used to be.
We play rubbish football now.
So we might as well have a strong defence. Yeah, I get that.
I've got Chelsea mates and they sort of said, like, in the day, you can get away, when Jose was there, you can get away with nicking a 1-0 win and playing bad football, but as long as you walk away from that stadium and you've won, you don't really care.
Yeah.
It's nice on the eye when you play good, but what's frustrating? How many times we played the best football in the country under Wenger from 2006 onwards for 10 years, and where did it get us?
Yeah,
it was nice to watch, but when you come away and you think, how the hell did we lose that game 2-1? You're frustrated.
You compare that. I mean, the Invincibles team. Yeah,
but you play good football and you win. It's brilliant. But if you play good football and you don't win, what does it mean? Absolutely nothing.
I mean, I'm on the fence with Mourinho. I mean, I think there's other managers out there that I'd like. Two that I wouldn't like. There's Arteta and Ljungberg. I don't think they're ready.
I like the fact that Ljungberg's back at the club, and obviously he's got that sort of aura about him of being an invincible, and I do love the man. But I think it's still a big job for him. I don't think he's ready for that. Keep him there and let him sort of learn his trade. I get that. Same with Arteta.
But the thing is, I love Ljungberg. I loved him as a player. And I don't want him to come into the job now because I will eventually hate him, and I don't want to hate him. Same with people like Vieira and.
Yeah, it's a massive job for a rookie coach. It's like if you bring everyone seems to think, oh yeah, let's bring Arteta in. He's been working with Pep for 3 years. Pep's got all the resources and top players in the world. It helps.
Oh yeah,
you can't turn around and say, oh, you've got Xhaka, who hasn't got any legs in him. He's not going to turn around and press like a Man City player.
No,
as good as the players you've got at the end of the day.
No, you're right. Now, two people that I would be interested in, Allegri and Ancelotti. What do you think of them two?
Ancelotti, 100%. He's won the Champions League with 2-3 clubs. He's top quality coach. He was one of my choices before, obviously when Wenger was on his way up. Allegri, if we got him, I'd be happy. I'm still on the fence a little bit with him because he's won the league obviously multiple times with Juve, but it's kind of a given in that country.
It's like being a Celtic manager.
Exactly. But then I suppose that contradicts my point about Brendan Rodgers. Do I want him? But with Rodgers, he knows this league. Come very close to win the league with Liverpool, playing good football. Maybe a bit naive at the time, like defensively, but.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, he wasn't right for Liverpool. They took him. They were 2 or 3 games away from winning the league. And they got rid of him to get Klopp in.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at other teams around you, like Bayern Munich have just sacked their manager. He won the league with them last year, and it's all about business for them. If you're not getting results, you're gone.
I mean, I don't know why I think like this, because obviously Arsenal dillied and dallied over Wenger for so long, but I think he gained himself a lot more years in the job because of what he'd done and like the respect, whatever. But I do think that if Arsenal got to Leicester this weekend and I don't at least put in like a decent performance, I think Emery could be gone in this international break.
We'll come on to Leicester in a bit, but I remember before that game, we've got a Europa League game which has been moved to Wednesday at stupid o'clock.
Yeah.
So at least you'll be able to get the school run done and get home for that. But I'll still be at work, but I'll be watching it on my phone. But I mean, what sort of team? I mean, we're one win away from qualifying.
I wouldn't play anyone that's going to play Saturday. I just don't see the point.
Would you put Ozil in?
No.
For
me, Ozil, he has to play Saturday, so what's the point in sending him to Portugal and then risk him getting injured? I know he hasn't played a lot of football recently, but it's still a big ask to sort of play Wednesday, Saturday, personally. Yeah. Same with Pepe. I know he didn't play at the weekend, but I wouldn't risk him. I'd think, he must know roughly what his Saturday team's going to be.
Would you put Xhaka in? Would you bring him back in now? Do you think away from home would be a good time to bring him back in?
Yeah, I think the longer you leave him out, the harder it's going to be for him. I just think chuck him in a day. He's got a lot to prove now, so let him go and try and do it on the pitch.
I mean, I feel now would be a good time to bring him in away from home.
Yep.
There's only the away fans, so he's not going to get loads of abuse and things like that. And it's a game where he can basically try and get a bit of confidence back.
Football's a results business. If he comes in on Thursday and puts in a man of the match performance, it will go a long way with like redeeming himself a little bit. I mean,
would you get? I mean, if he does play, would you give him the armband?
Nah, it's done. He's done for captaincy. You can't do that. Let him earn it. Let him earn it back. I mean, I don't think he should have been captain in the first place. I don't think Emery should have left it to the squad to pick.
Did he do? I mean, I just think that's weak. But every other manager, if you said to Alex Ferguson back in the day, who's going to choose your captain, he would shout at you, he'd throw stuff at you and say, I'm the one who's choosing the captain here.
But the only thing I'll say, I mean, Emery's let him do it, which I think is a weak move, but it is what it is. But then apparently it was like a resounding vote for him. So he's obviously a big personality in the dressing room. He's obviously well liked.
Yeah, but
then football ability has to come into it as well.
Okay, Arsenal signed Peter Kay, yeah? right? Do we give him the armband because everyone loves him and he makes everyone laugh?
No, I get what you're saying.
Do you understand? You know,
Yeah.
like I think captains are not something that should be voted on. You look at your team and you think he's the captain, he's a leader.
Yeah.
Like people look like leaders and by the stuff they do on the field, and you know, I just don't think it's something you can vote on.
I mean, who would you give the captaincy though? I don't think we've got a captain in our team.
We spoke about this last time. I mean, if we haven't got a captain who's an out-and-out leader, I'd give it to someone who works their arse off. Someone like a Lacazette, you know, someone like that. I think that's just...
I mean, not me personally. I mean...
Aubameyang even.
Maybe someone like a Socrates, who is the most experienced in terms of... Or even David Luiz. He's been there and done it. He's won it all. He looks like he's like a well-liked character. I mean, he's a bit of a personality. And it might improve his performances somewhat, the fact that he's been given that responsibility.
It's quite hard to give it to a defender at Arsenal because the defenders at Arsenal are constantly making mistakes.
Well, yeah, but that might take him to that next level. I don't know. I mean, I'm clutching at straws.
I mean, Socrates, say for example, you give it to Socrates, he's not had a good season so far at all for me. And if Holding had a good game against Liverpool, I would have had him back in by now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Europa League, like what sort of team would you put out? Give me your starting 11.
Probably the Europa League team. The League Cup team that we played against Liverpool. Barring, I mean, if Emery thinks Ozil's going to play against Leicester, then you don't play him in the Europa League.
So you're thinking Holding, Bellerin, Willocks, Martinelli, Saka's, people like that?
Yeah. Because if we go and lose this game on Wednesday, it's not a big deal, is it?
Nah.
I'm not saying you want to lose a football match, but at the end of the day, you've got other games.
We've got another home game where we can pick up that win and qualify top of the group.
Exactly. So I don't think you should risk sending people away.
Nah, I mean, like I said...
Saka, Martinelli, they've got to be in the team.
I put the Xhaka's, Willock, Ainsley in. I put these people in. We've got a good enough second string squad.
I give Holding another game because at the end of the day, he's still trying to build up his fitness.
I mean, what about Holding and Bellerin? I mean, do you think it's time they get a shot in the first team?
I mean, I'm not a doctor. I mean, if Bellerin's 100% going to come in when he's fit, he obviously isn't at that level yet, which I think fine. I mean, easy. I mean, I don't think
Chambers did that bad at the weekend to... I mean, he's not as good. He's probably a bit better defensively, but going forward, he's not as good as Bellerin.
But Bellerin, whenever I've watched him, he does look like he's slightly still off the pace. So, play him this week in Europe.
There's an international break coming up, I think. Get through these next couple of games. We might even be looking for a new manager in the international break.
Like I say, I do.
And then start your best 11 moving forward and start getting some results.
You think he's done, Emery?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I mean, we could go and beat Leicester 3-0 this weekend, but I don't think that's going to think, oh, right, well, Arsenal on the up. I genuinely think...
I mean, I'm probably an optimistic Arsenal fan, and I always hope we're going to win, but deep down, I think we're going to get spanking at Leicester at the weekend.
Yeah, which is shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at the odds on the betting app yesterday, and they're favourites, and I think, when could you have ever said that?
Yeah.
Even probably when they won the league, they wouldn't have been favourites against us that season. I mean, it's... I don't know.
No, I think he's making bad decision after bad decision by listening to all the fans online. I did a poll the other day on Twitter, and everyone wants him out. Yeah, so I reckon it's just a matter of when. And some people say online, we get rid of him now. We've got a chance to get into the top four. If it stays as is, we're finishing 5th, 6th, 7th.
When you look at like our team and our front three. I mean, any coach would come in and be licking their lips at that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Because, I mean, that's devastating, or potentially devastating. Them three attackers with Ozil just behind. I mean, if you can get that working, and then somewhat get us defensively sound, you'll win a lot more games than you lose. Put it that way.
If you've got them four, you have 2 holding midfielders and a structured defence. That's enough to work for me. That should be enough for us to work. So I reckon we just need to find the manager that can get the right system. And if you have to sacrifice players and not play them, but you've got a structured team, I think that's what we should do.
That's why I sway a little bit more towards Mourinho. Forget all the past and that, but he will come in and he'll shake things up. There'll be no passengers.
Yeah.
If you don't want to run, then I'll find someone who will. That's his attitude, isn't it?
He did that with Pogba.
And he took on one of the biggest personalities going.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't end well, but I don't know.
So what team would you put out against Leicester at the weekend then?
Right, Lacazette up top, Aubameyang wide left, Pepe wide right, Ozil in behind, Guendouzi, Torreira sitting, hopefully.
But
sitting.
Actually sit and
just don't be too adventurous. When you got them front four, you should just be winning the ball back and thinking, right, we'll give it to Ozil or something, let him go. You don't need to join up with the attack and then leave us exposed. Just be disciplined. That's all I want.
Yeah.
And then the back four, obviously Tierney, David Luiz, Socrates, Chambers, Bellerin, obviously Bellerin if he's fit. And then Leno, I think the team kind of picks itself.
It does. I mean, it's amazing. You speak to 100 Arsenal fans, 90% of them will say that is the starting lineup that they want.
Yeah. Our team at the weekend, when I saw it, I was thinking, this is what I've been crying out for. Like, barring Pepe, I mean, he might have rested Pepe, which it needs to happen. That team on paper should have still been beating Wolves.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Wolves, a good team, don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
It's the tactics and the way we go about playing is the reason we ended up drawing and we'll end up losing to teams if we keep doing that same sort of thing.
When you've got like the ball like in the final third and then you look there and you think, well, what's Torreira doing? Why is Guendouzi and Torreira next to Ozil? You think one of you's got to have a little bit of savvy and think, I'm going to sit, because Wolves are pretty quick on the break with the likes of Traore. Like, common sense. And we played Saturday and I've played Sunday and Saturday football growing up, and even then you think, hold on, I'm just going to keep my wits about me. It's not hard. It's so frustrating. It's untrue.
Yeah, so do you reckon, against Leicester, Emery's he's struggling to get his message across?
Well, I don't know. I mean, these are pro footballers. They're on £100 a week for a reason. Surely they can see and think, I'm going to just sort of sense the danger here. It's not difficult.
Yeah.
And Wenger done it, and he was obviously the great coach he is. But even his teams, we were left vulnerable. I mean, I just think a lot of them are brain dead, these players, and don't...
even if people say Emery's not getting the message across, he's got his staff there. Freddie can get up and shout at people to get back forward. But you sort of know, if you're going forward as a right back, Tierney, just sit a bit.
Yeah.
And it's like kids football. As soon as the ball's up front, everyone wants to get up front.
Flock of pigeons.
And then we're getting broken on again, 2 against 2, 3 against 3. So, okay. All right, well, what's your prediction for What's the score? What do you reckon?
What, Victoria or...
Don't worry about Victoria. That's not of interest. Against Leicester, what do you reckon?
3-0 Leicester. I just don't see us...
Wow, 3-0.
Yeah, mate, I'm downbeat at the minute. And I'm not one of these Arsenal fans. There's a lot of Arsenal fans out there who think, oh yeah, good, in a way they want us to lose to Leicester. I can never ever be that fan that wants us to lose. Because they think, oh yeah, we lose to Leicester and Emery will be gone. There's no guarantees in that. But I just don't see us hurting them. I just think they'll be at it from the get go. They're too quick for us and snap. I just don't see it. I hope I'm wrong. Of course I do, but
yeah, I hope you're wrong. But I reckon we're going to go up there and get a draw. I reckon we're going to get a draw 2-2. But I still want Emery gone, and it will a 2-2 draw just delay him leaving. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I say, I don't think one result. Arsenal, I don't think they're stupid enough to base someone's future on one result. And I hope you're right. I hope we do go up there and get a result. I mean, I think it's the performance.
Yeah.
If Arsenal go up there and lose 2-1, but we've fought for every ball, we've been disciplined, and we've just been outdone.
And we haven't made mistakes.
100%. I can handle that. It's when you go up there and you get absolutely trounced, then that's the frustrating thing.
Yeah.
But
well, fingers crossed that all goes well.